Hello, folks. Welcome back to Reality Check with Arvind Swaminathan. Or should I say, Jai Shri Ram, Ram Ramji. Or, hello, take your pick. May I also make one or two requests? Please press the video link or click on the video link, not the picture frame. Also, please spread this message not just among your friends, also among your friends and relatives and groups, but also among your servants, your drivers, your maidservants and so on. Let them also understand what's going on. Because right now I don't think there is anybody to tell them. You have to do that. Right, let's get busy. Recently I heard an interview with Priyanka Gandhi that her entire family since 1947 has done nothing against Hindus. Now that alone tells you the sort of lies which that family has been, how shall I put it, spreading from the very beginning, ever since we became independent, in fact even before then. You see, Nehru, her great-grandfather, started this trend. Now I'm pretty certain he had this in his mind all along, to convert India into a Muslim state. Jinnah insisted on a Pakistan, and he was quite in tune with that. Pakistan was created, and then Nehru had this bright idea. Those Muslims who wanted to stay in India may do so. Why? Now if he was going to do that, why did he agree to partition and all the horrors it brought? You see, the idea was these people would remain behind and continue their appropriation of whatever power they could to make India into an Islamic country. And they're doing it even today. Nehru tried to do it legally. And this is something which few people really understand. Look at it this way. What did he do? First thing, 1950, he introduced into the Constitution, Article 30, I think it is. It says you may teach Islam, you may teach Christianity anywhere. Schools, colleges, universities, churches, madrasas, mosques, hired premises, anywhere. All donations to Muslim boards or dargahs or any such places, or to churches or church missions, would remain with them, the government wouldn't touch it. No taxes. But he also introduced another article into the same constitution. You may not teach Hinduism anywhere. Not in schools, not in colleges, not in universities, not in temples, nowhere. Plus, whatever donations came into the temples could be taxed. Why? And this in a country where equality is guaranteed as per the constitution. Later they added this word secularism. Where is secularism? Where is equality? Which means to the Congress party and to the Nehru family, the constitution is nothing but a piece of paper you throw around. They've torn it up, stomped on it and thrown it out. So, 80% of the population of this country is not permitted to learn about their own religion. This is called equality and secularism. No action against Hindus. Then, 1954, he brought in something else. Article 370 and 35A, which virtually made Kashmir a foreign country. Because all we did was the government of India provided so much money for the development of Jammu and Kashmir. The Jammu and Kashmir government took it over, and then they said to the rest of India, okay, now get out. The money is ours now. you have no further role to play. As if that isn't bad enough, the Constituent Assembly in 1948 empowered Nehru to formulate, enact, and implement a uniform civil code. The Constitution, I believe Article 44, says India must, or the powers that be must, formulate, enact, formulate, enact and implement a uniform civil code. And what is Nehru's reply? A Hindu civil code in 1956. Why? Only Hindus are reined in and told to live under certain conditions. But nobody else. Muslims can run riot, do what they like. So can Christians. Sikhs maybe. What is this? And then further divisions. India in 1947 consisted of 15 provinces. What did Nehru do? He divided India into different states based on language. And then he had the stupidity to say, we must have a national language, Hindi. I mean, what kind of nonsense is this? How can you do that? Will anybody agree to it? No. Even English, we had a very good standard of English in India. He's ruined that too. If that's not enough, he started giving away pockets of land. 1962, Aksai Chin to China. Why? I mean, this man lived in utopia, in La La Land. When the British general, who was the CNC at the time, in 1947, asked Nehru, well, sir, what plans do you have for the Indian army? He said, plans? We don't need an army. We have no enemies. That general left India very quickly. I mean, it's ridiculous. And while there's a get-together to decide on who is going to be the chief of army staff or of our armed forces, the commander-in-chief of the Indian forces. And Nehru's idea was, maybe we should get a British general to be our first commander-in-chief. And someone asked him, but why, sir? He says, nobody in India has any experience in that. And Brigadier put his hand up and said, sir, request permission to speak. Yes, please speak. Be free. And he said, maybe we should have a British Prime Minister. Why? Well, nobody here has the experience. Result? That is how General Cariappa became the first Indian Chief of Staff. I mean, this is the kind of total stupidity of that man. How did he ever become Prime Minister? There was no democracy. He murdered democracy that day. Because of the 15 provincial Congress presidents, 12 voted for Sardar Patel, 2 for Sitaramaiah, and 1 for Kripalani. Everybody knew just how useless Nehru was. And it's only because of Gandhi that he became Prime Minister. All the others were made to step down. Now, as if this isn't enough, there's more. 1954, Nehru recognized the Waqf Board as an entity whereby all Muslims who left India to go to Pakistan could give their land and property to them. Why? Was there such an entity in Pakistan, West Pakistan or East Pakistan? No. Why was there one in India? In fact, why did he even allow Muslims to stay in India? Why? When Pakistan, both East and West, were created for Muslims out of India, why did they let Muslims stay in India? If that was going to be the case, why have partition at all? Again, same thing. Converting India into Islam. This core had to be here. And they've all had all sorts of special privileges. Going on from there, 1972, Indira Gandhi, Priyanka Gandhi and Rahul Gandhi's grandmother, recognized and helped set up the Muslim Personal Law Board. Why? Is there a Hindu or a Christian Personal Law Board? Why do you need an Islamic one? They will tell Muslims what the law is. Nobody has the brains to figure it out for themselves. Come on. As if this wasn't enough, Indira Gandhi gave away Kachativu Island to Sri Lanka. All the Tamilian fishermen, they're still suffering. They're still getting beaten up and arrested by the Sri Lankan Navy if they go anywhere near Kachativu Island. Even worse, Nehru in his stupidity gave the Coco Island, just north of the Andaman and Nicobar Islands, to Myanmar. Burma as it was then. Why? Both Nehru and Indira Gandhi had perfect opportunities to take back Pakistan-occupied Kashmir. They didn't. Nehru created a ceasefire, or ordered a ceasefire, when the Indian army had begun pushing the raiders back, and went to UN, in spite of being warned that to go to UN means 50 years and nothing would happen. 75 years have gone by, it's still the same place. Indira Gandhi had a superb opportunity to take it back in 1971. She gave everything back to Pakistan, including 93,000 POWs whom we had under our control. And what did she get for it? Nothing. This is called leadership. What did our armies and navy and the air force go into action for? What did we gain out of it? Nothing. We gifted away our property to other nations. What do we get for it? Nothing. You call this governing or statesmanship? What kind of nonsense is that? Has that done anything for India? No. As if this isn't enough. There's more. Slowly the Waqf Board gets more and more powers. Add to this, the Muslim personal law begins to take force. 1986, Shah Bano case. The Supreme Court ordered her former husband to pay, I think, 79 rupees a month as alimony. The Muslim Personal Law Board got into action, created a bit of a hoo-ha, and Rajiv Gandhi had the law changed. And again, the Supreme Court made this observation that a uniform civil code is essential, quickly. Nothing happened, but the Supreme Court order giving Shah Bano alimony was reversed by the Rajiv Gandhi government. Why? Muslim women are not the same as Hindu women? They're not equal? They don't have any rights? They just playthings to be used and thrown about? Discarded when, as they get a little older? But the real, how shall I put it, the last nail in the coffin of Hinduism came between 1992 and 1995 and 1996 in Jammu and Kashmir. Let me explain. All Congress governments 1991, the Places of Worship Act. It froze all places of worship as of 15th August 1947. Now, very rare that Hindu temples got permission to build, but not Muslim mosques. You could build them wherever you wanted. Since 1947, almost 600,000 mosques have been built. How many temples? Very, very, very few indeed. Gyanvapi and its story, this Babri Masjid, that particular mosque, the Ram Temple. There's another one in Mathura. All need to be, the land needs to be returned to the original owners, the temple owners. And yet, you can't because of this law. A little further, 1992, the Minorities Act. This is the Narasimha Rao government, mind you. And Sonia Gandhi was a part of that. So was Mr. Manmohan Singh. I think he was finance minister then. You see, you have a slum cluster or a JJ cluster. Poor people, you have a Hindu, a Christian and a Muslim living side by side. Now all the freebies which a Minorities Act allows, the Muslim and the Christian get, but the Hindu doesn't. Why? She belongs to a majority community. You see? So why is the majority community being penalized? What have you done, Congress Party, or the Gandhi-Nehru family, or the Nehru-Gandhi family? What have you done for Hindus? Except marginalize them and penalize them at every twist and turn. Now the only way that Hindu can get any of those privileges or those freebies is by removing all traces of any Hindu deities or Hindu markings in a home and replacing it with either Christian or Islamic ones. Another way of forced conversion to Islam or Christianity, trying to wipe out Hinduism. But the real monster act, diabolical, demonical if you like, the Waqf Act 1995. I mean, anybody can go anywhere and say, this is Waqf property. It becomes that. There is no argument. You cannot go to the High Court, you cannot go to the Sessions Court, the District Court, the High Court, or even the Supreme Court of India. The only place you can register any protest is the Waqf Tribunal in the center of the state capital. It is a seven-member bench or tribunal, all Muslims. They have made, by that act, for all property disputes concerning the Waqf board or anybody else, they have made Sharia law the law of the land. The Indian Penal Code doesn't exist anymore as far as they're concerned. How much land have they taken over? Because according to that act, every square inch of land in India can be taken over. No proof required. They just have to say this is Waqf property. That's it. It becomes theirs. This is what the Congress Party has done. And then, you see what happened in 1990. Hindus were driven out of Jammu and Kashmir. Many were slaughtered there. Women were raped, murdered. People were driven out of there. They were living in refugee camps all around Delhi and nobody knew about it. Absolute press blackout. Not the newspapers, not the news channels, nothing. This was 1990. 1996, there's another election in Jammu and Kashmir. Farooq Abdullah and co come back. What do? They bring in another law. The Migrants Land Registration Act. All those who had fled from Jammu and Kashmir, the next of kin could not get the land or property mutated in their names. Why? Because the police had been told not to register any FIRs. Without the FIR, how do you get a death certificate? You can't. People spend 30 and 40 years and they're still trying to get death certificates so that they can get their property transferred to their names. This Registration Act said all those migrants who had left the valley, their land now belongs to the state, which now the state can sell to anybody it wants at whatever price it feels like. Properties worth crores were given away to favored ones for 100 rupees or 200 rupees. It's another big scam. This is what aided and abetted by Congress governments. And the Congress government of the UPA era, 2004 to 14, they were inviting these Kashmiri militants or murderers to tea and tea parties. What did it do for the Hindus of Kashmir? Nothing, except turn them into refugees in their own country. And you, Mrs. Priyanka Gandhi Vadra, are trying to tell me that your family and the Congress party has worked for Hindus and done nothing against Hindus? Now we got another one in West Bengal who seems to think that beating Hindus and turning them out of Bengal or converting them into Islam is fair game. In fact, it was Nehru himself who recognized the fact that yes, it is all right to convert people into different religions, knowing full well who the targets were. Even today, all these people, these opposition people, whether it's in Tamil Nadu or whether it's in West Bengal or in Punjab, oh no, the CAA, you must not implement it. We won't allow it. Why? Because Hindus apparently coming from Pakistan or from Bangladesh or Afghanistan get immediate Indian citizenship. They don't. Remember, it concerns those who came in before December 31st, 2014. And if they're here, they've already been here 10 years. This coming year, they should automatically be through residency. They should already have the right to apply for citizenship. There are thousands, if not lakhs, of Indian citizens who came over from Pakistan in 1947. But thanks to the J&K laws, they can only go in for menial work. Even though they're graduates, they're experienced, they have knowledge and everything, but they are not allowed to. This is Kashmiri law, as per, well, for as long as 370 and 35A were in force. So what did you do for them? Nothing. Everything was stacked against them. Telling them, don't come here, stay in Pakistan and get murdered or converted. Now all this, and then you have the India Alliance. Down south, Udayanidhi, Stalin, Sanatan Dharma or Hinduism is like a disease, like the plague or malaria or COVID. It has to be eradicated. Why? Is he trying to eradicate Hinduism or Hindus? You think that's funny? I am not amused. Trust me. All these opposition parties, they don't want CAA. Why? All those illegal migrants will be thrown up, be brought to the fore. and illegal migrants should be sent back to the countries of origin. That includes Bangladeshis, it includes Rohingyas. Anybody else who happens to be here. Why are they here? Now today is a huge cry by these opposition parties. Unemployment, you're doing nothing. Well, the government can't do anything if you keep getting Bangladeshis pouring into India. And why do they pour in? Because Congress governments in the past and the TMC government today refuses to seal that border. And if you don't close it and seal that border, these guys, they will come in. And they create a huge problem when it comes to unemployment of Indian citizens. Plus the crime they bring with them, don't even mention it. What more? I mean, these opposition people are still fighting for the right to go on looting and plundering this country of ours. They don't want progress. They don't want development. They've done everything in their power to stop development. The only good thing that the Congress party ever did was Narasimha Rao time, when they finally got rid of License Raj. The only thing in their favor. Now you see the development that has taken place in the last 10 years. Modi government, what has it done? Defense. The import bill has been cut to a very, very small amount. In fact, we're actually exporting defense equipment. The first tranche of missiles to the Philippines went a couple of days ago. Or was it yesterday? BrahMos missiles. The whole world wants them. And we have them. Could this have happened under Congress rule? No, it couldn't have. Because they want everything to be brought in from outside and they want their huge commissions. You buy something for $1 there and the government of India has to pay $15 or $20 for it. Where's the rest of the money? In their pockets. Now, these are the sort of things we're trying to eradicate, and Modi is doing his damnedest to do so. You've got to give him a chance to really get after them. You see, it may have taken 3 or 4 years just to get a sniff of what's happening. Going after it takes another 4 or 5 years. Now that he's got the bit between his teeth, don't stop him. Because if you do, all that effort is wasted. Let's give him a chance. Let him start rooting out that corruption. Make India big, make India great. He's made us believe that yes, we can do it. Whatever we set our hearts and our minds to, we can do it. We're not as useless as the Congress told us for 70 years that you're Indian, you're no damn good, you can't do anything. We can. And the BJP government is helping us to prove it too. If not to the rest of the world who don't want to believe it, we believe it. We can do it. And we can do it and we are doing it. So let's get this straight. Let's get this corrupt business out of our systems. Let's get some integrity inside us. And as long as you have these opposition parties working together, as they claim, you'll never get a corrupt-free society or a corruption-free society. You can't get it because corruption is in their DNA. You can't root it out. You just got to make sure they don't have a chance to exhibit their talents. And their talents being corruption, looting, pillaging and plundering. There's no democracy, there's no decency in them. Well folks, enough for this one. But please remember, when you vote, think about it. Congress governments have always been totally anti-Hindu. And they're not going to change, as they've shown. Whether it's the Karnataka government, whether it's TMC government, whether it's any other government which is non-BJP, they're the same. Totally anti-Hindu. Means they are totally against 80% of our population. You can never live in peace or find any happiness with such people in power. Well, folks, please remember, think about who you vote for. Take care and all the best.